Hello, welcome to another video. So this is my 10th, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, no, we're in October, so probably 10th episode of BookBox Battle. Last month I did my BookBox Battle quite late in the month, which means that I accidentally put the adult Fairy Loot box in last month's. So I only have Illumicrate this month, which is fine. This month is also Spookoplathon, so I'm going to be reading like my BookBox Battle book anyway, but I'm also going to be reading it alongside like my Spookoplathon books, and if I can, fit it into the Spookoplathon just to make my life easier. So I'm going to, once I've unboxed this one, I'm going to pick, I think, just 3 books from my jar. I realise I haven't actually explained what I'm doing. So if you didn't know, BookBox Battle is the vlog series that I do every month where I unbox all of my book boxes, which are Illumicrate Adult Fairy Loot now. I then read the first chapters of the new books, plus I pick a couple of books out of my jar of old BookBox books, and I put all of those first chapters together to pick the book that I wanted to read, with the idea being that it will help me to actually get through my BookBox backlist. Wow, all of the B's today. And secondly, it will help me kind of decide whether I want to keep these subscriptions that I have currently got. So let's move on to Illumicrate and get this one unboxed. So the card theme, my brain is not braining, I can only apologise. The theme today is darker academia, and I'm going to go through that in a second. Throw away the stuffing. Okay, first off we have got a notebook. Take out that. This is a notebook, I don't know if you can see, it's got an embossed kind of moth design on there. What are you from? You're not from anything. Scales and Wings task journal. So you've got weekly tasks. Oh, it is literally just that the whole time. So like weekly tasks and to-do lists, and then there's notes at the back. I like that. So schedule, so it's got schedules, habit tracker, and then like to-do list. I really like that. That is something that I can and will use. So I'm being assisted now by Bella. Okay, the next thing in here, we have got another jigsaw. This is the Dark Academia bookcase, 1000-piece jigsaw. So it will look like that. I still haven't done the other one that we got because I don't have room for it. I really like this art style, this kind of very like almost watercolour art style. Wow, this will be really fun. I don't know when I'm going to have space to do it, but my favourite part is the scissors with blood on them. Anyway, I really like that. Okay, next we've got here, what is this? A glasses case. Okay, I probably do actually need a new glasses case. This is has got like skulls and playing cards and tarot on it. This is the foreshadowing glasses case, which is a useful item. Then we've got reading prompt cards. We've had these before, and I do like them. If I can get into them. Oh, that's weird. You open it at the bottom. Okay, so reading prompt cards. We've got things like the newest book on your shelf, a book that is the sequel to one you've read before, a book by a debut author, a book with a murder mystery, your prettiest Illumicrate book. Oh, there's some which are actually Illumicrate specific. I like them. Okay, I really like them. I'm not going to go through them all now, but I like them. And then we've got the book. Throw away the box. Scare the cat. So let's get it out. The book is one that I am anticipating. So the book is A Dark and Drowning Tide by Alison Saft. So we've got a completely redesigned cover with this sort of nymph on the back. The edges are kind of this seascape with like jellyfish. I actually can see it better. It looks better in the camera than it does in real life. Like I feel like the camera's picking up a bit more detail. That's really strange. Anyway, it is a hardback under, obviously it's hardback, but it's like a decorated hardback. The dust jackets now, oh my goodness, words. We've got this sort of dragony creature, a lindworm on the end papers, and Mara a kelpie maybe. Nothing on the back of the dust jacket, but let me just read through the synopsis. Lorelei Caskell, a folklorist with a quick temper and an even quicker wit, is on an expedition with 6 eccentric nobles in search of a mythical spring of untold power. The king wants to harness the fabled water source from which magic flows to secure his reign, and Lorelei is determined to prove herself and make her dream come true, to become a naturalist, able to travel freely to faraway lands. The expedition gets off to a harrowing start when its leader, Lorelei's beloved mentor, is murdered in her quarters aboard their ship. The suspects are her 5 remaining expedition mates. The only person Lorelei knows must be innocent is her long-term academic rival, the insufferably gallant and maddeningly beautiful Sylvia von Wolf. Now in charge of the expedition, Lorelei must find the spring before the murderer strikes again and a coup begins in earnest. But other dangers lurk in the dark, forests that rearrange themselves at night, rivers with slumbering dragons hiding beneath the water, and shape-shifting beasts out for blood. As Lorelei and Sylvia grudgingly work together to uncover the truth and resist their growing feelings for each other, they discover that their leader had secrets of her own, secrets that made Lorelei question whether justice is worth pursuing and if this kingdom is worth saving at all. So this sounds like a sapphic romance with a kind of quest. It does sound good. It sounds interesting. I'll be totally honest with you. I feel like the only person Lorelei knows must be innocent is her longtime academic rival. That line slightly bugs me because I'm like, well, what? Why do you think she's innocent? Because you fancy her? She would be my prime suspect. Anyway, Dark and Drowning Tide. I'm excited to get to this one. And I am now going to pick, like I said, I'm going to pick 3 books out of the jar that I'm going to pit against Dark and Drowning Tide. So we're going to go with one right down at the bottom, which is, The Whispering Dark by Kelly Andrew. I was thinking of that one only the other day. I'm going to go for one at the top. Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare, highly anticipated as you can probably tell, and one from the middle, Violet Made of Thorns. I think that's Gina Chen. Right, I'm going to pick up those 3 and come back to you. Alright, I've got my 3 extra books here. So, The Whispering Dark by Kelly Andrew. This one is an Illumicrate edition. This one is again, I believe, a dark academia. I really love the skulls here on the cover. It says in the back, paranormal thriller laced with twists and revelations that will stop your heart. It's going to be perfect for this time of year. Swordcatcher. Okay, this is the Fairy Loot edition. We've got the sprayed edges. I really didn't like the Fairy Loot dust jacket, so I put on the normal dust jacket, which I prefer to the Fairy Loot one. This is a adult fantasy by Cassandra Clare. I love Cassandra Clare's writing. Very excited to read this one. And then Violet Made of Thorns. This one is a Fairy Loot. I think it's a Fairy Loot YA. I think. I don't know if it's a YA or an adult. It just says Fairy Loot exclusive. When did I get this? It has a book plate, so I think it would be, I think this is YA. And this is about a prophecy. Darkly enchanting fantasy debut about a morally grey witch, a cursed prince, and a prophecy that ignites their fate-twisted destinies. Perfect for fans of The Cruel Prince and Serpent and Dove. They are good comps. I think this one sounds really good. I do think this one sounds good, but I think of the 4 I've got here, this one will be at the bottom of the pile. I think I'm then going to put A Dark and Drowning Tide, because again, this one sounds excellent, but we have got very high competition here. All of my dust jackets are slightly out. I'm then going to go with The Whispering Dark. Do you know what? I've literally just last night did a second roll for Bookopoly, and the prompt was a book with a sound word in the title, and The Whispering Dark. I was going to be like, oh, I could pick up that one. And I'm like, no, I'll pick up one that's actually on my TBR for the month. I have read the first chapter of The Whispering Dark before, and I did really like it. I remember it came second behind, I don't know what it was behind, but it was a very, very, like, it was one that I really liked, that first chapter. But I think Swordcatcher is probably the one I'm going to go for, just because, like, I really like Cassandra Clare. So this is my theorized stack. Here are our edges, very, very pretty. Let me know if you've read any of these 4. What one do you think I will read? What one would you suggest that I read? Also, with the items here from the box, I feel like this was a kind of mid box. Which item do you like best? I don't actually know. I think I'm probably going to say the journal, but I don't think that any of these items have blown me away. But let me know your thoughts, and I'm going to go and read the first chapters and come back to you probably quite a few hours later. Alright, book 1 for Book Box Battle. I read the first chapter of Violet Made of Thorns. I have been nodding off reading this, like no exaggeration. I'm reading and kind of doing that. The first chapter is 20 pages long. We're following, our main character is the court seer. She's made a prophecy that the prince has to marry someone, and now someone has said that the prince must die, and like another prophecy happened. I don't really care about it. I'm not interested. Like I said, it was making me fall asleep. I will not be reading this one in this video. And I think I will give it a second chapter try, but it is looking like it could actually even potentially be an unhaul, which feels like, yeah, a bit extreme, but I think it disinterested me so much. Like I said, I will try it again, because I feel like it's not fair to like unhaul it now, because there might be other reasons that I was falling asleep reading it. It's about 4 o'clock. It's that mid-afternoon slump. I've just had a shower, so you'd have thought I'd be a little bit more awake, but maybe I'm not. Anyway, the next one I'm going to try is the first chapter of A Dark and Drowning Tide. This one is another 20-page chapter. In fact, I put my bookmarks in place, and these all have got really long first chapters. So yeah, 20 pages of A Dark and Drowning Tide, and I'll let you know my thoughts. Okay, second one, Dark and Drowning Tide. Right, this is giving me vibes of Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, which I haven't actually finished reading. I started reading it and I put it down at sort of like about 50 pages in, not because I wasn't enjoying it, but because I was doing a silly challenge where I like tried a book a day. Anyway, this has given me Emily Wilde vibes. It's also given me A Study in Drowning vibes. Neither of those have been books that I've been enamoured enough with to want to continue. So I don't think I'm going to be reading this one in this vlog. It is more intriguing than Violet Made of Thorns, but it's not massively intriguing. So in that one, we met our main character, Lorelei, who was there with her rival, Sylvia. Sylvia was trying to like sing to a magical creature in a river, and they fell in the water. Like, it's supposed to be setting up the world and the characters, and it did do that, but I already feel that just in those 20 pages I read, the amount of world building it was info dumping in, it would have been much better if we just had a map, rather than you telling me that there's this magic, this river goes here and splits this land from here to here. Just give me a map. Like, I mean, I am a firm believer that really all fantasy books deserve a map. Right, book 3, The Whispering Dark. I have done a first chapter challenge in this one before, so I am continuing on to chapter 2. So this one follows, I don't remember when I read the first chapter, but I do know this one is a kind of dark academia, and we have a deaf main character who is, I believe in the first chapter, she's just arrived at university or something. What are you two looking at? We both started looking out the window then. So yeah, intrigued by this one. I absolutely love the cover of this. I just think it's stunning. So let's read chapter 2 of The Whispering. Okay, chapter 2 of The Whispering Dark. I probably should have reread chapter 1 because it followed exactly on. So like at the end of chapter 1, our main character like opens an elevator and the other main character is there, and chapter 2 is, I think, told from the other person's perspective. So it really like continues straight on, you know, in the exact same scene even. So I probably should have just carried on, like reread rather than continued, but intrigued. If I do pick The Whispering Dark, I will probably start again from the beginning. Again, that's it. You know, it's not a lot. Like, I think I'm now up to page 20 with the 2 chapters being read, so I don't mind having to start again if needed, but just to make sure that I'm kind of up to date with actually what's happening. But last, but by no means least, we have Swordcatcher. Now, normally, I'm going to be reading the prologue for this one. Normally, when a book has a prologue, I will read the prologue and the first chapter. However, chapter 1 starts on page 39. So I'm just going to read the prologue. I'm not reading chapter 1 because the prologue is 39 pages long. This is the one that I'm most anticipating wanting to read. The thing with Cassandra Clare, she likes a long chapter, but she is so fast-paced to read, so I'm hoping that there will be, that fast-paced excitement and I can get through it quite quickly. So, Swordcatcher it is. I have finished the prologue of Swordcatcher and I loved it. I think for the first time ever, my predictions on the order of my enjoyment of the books is exactly what it's come out at. I am going to continue with Swordcatcher. Bracken, go back. That does make it now the fifth book that I am reading at the moment. So I do need to clear some books off. So because Swordcatcher is very, very chunky, it is over 600 pages, I don't think I'm going to get to The Whispering Dark. I think it's unlikely that I'm going to get to that one this week. But the plan of action still is read Swordcatcher. And if I can get to The Whispering Dark, all the better. You don't need to scratch. I am still rolling as I go for Spookopalathon, so if I get a roll that I can fit Swordcatcher into, then I'll put it towards Spookopalathon as well. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to be reading Swordcatcher, and I will catch up with you probably when I'm about 100 pages. Hello, so update on Swordcatcher. I've made a crocheted book jacket for this one because I took the cover off and then I thought I'd put my book jacket on it. I have just got to the 100-page mark and I've decided to switch to the audiobook for this one. I am reading along physically and I am actually enjoying reading along physically, but I just finished my audiobook and I wanted to have another audiobook on the go. Even if I don't like fully read it via audio, I wanted to at least like have the option of having an audiobook on the go. And I figured that because I'm reading like 5 books at the moment, it may as well be one of the books that I'm currently reading. Also, these edges are just really, really pretty and I don't want to accidentally ruin them by reading it with my eyeballs, even though I am reading it with my eyeballs. But I'm really enjoying this so far. This is kind of giving me Six of Crows vibes. I feel like just in the way that there's like the Ragpicker King and there's like a criminal underworld which we know about and are kind of in support of. Because I'm kind of getting Six of Crows vibes. There was something else I was like, oh, I'm getting vibes of that. I can't remember what it was now. But I am really enjoying Swordcatcher so far. Like I said, I'm only 100. Stop scratching. I don't feel like the real plot has started yet. I think that will come soon, hopefully. We've met our main characters and yeah, I feel like I'm at the point where the plot is about to start, but it hasn't yet started. So yeah, enjoying Swordcatcher. I also... Hello, it is Friday night. I have been reading Swordcatcher and I am up to the page 100 mark. I am enjoying it. It's really interesting to read a Cassandra Clare that isn't Shadowhunters, just because she's got such a known sort of style and like narrative style and plot style with the Shadowhunters. You kind of know what to expect going in. But I am liking this. I think I said in my last update, it's given me Six of Crows vibes, which is good because Six of Crows is one of my favourite series. And yeah, I am enjoying it. We've met the Ragpicker King, who, because I know that book 2 is called the Ragpicker King, I feel like he is going to be a very big, important character. Are you a big, important character, Bracken? Are you a little irritating girl? She's a big, important character. Yeah, so we've met the Ragpicker King, and I'm excited to come see what's going to be happening there. Yeah, I feel like the plot hasn't really started, but I feel like it's about to. There needs to be a catalyst, and there needs to be a catalyst quite soon, I feel. So, you know, there needs to be a reason for Kel to want to be involved with the Ragpicker King, or for Kel to want to like fight back against something, or for something to have happened to the prince. You know, there needs to be a thing. A thing needs to happen for the plot to like really start. So, yeah, excited. This weekend it is Becca's 24-hour Patreon readathon. I forgot my words there. My plan is to finish 500 pages to go, is to try and finish Swordcatcher over the weekend. I feel that sounds like a ridiculous plan, other than the fact it's a Cassandra Clare, and I just know how quickly Cassandra Clare's work, like, well, her Shadowhunter works read. So I don't think it's a completely ridiculous claim, but it's going to be a hard one. So yeah, that is the plan of action this weekend, and that's all I've got to say. So I'm going to go to bed now, and I will see you tomorrow evening when I'm reading Swordcatcher. I'll next be updating you when I'm at the 200 page mark. Good night. Hi, hello. It is Saturday evening. So Becca is doing her Patreon 24-hour readathon. So I'm currently watching her sprints, and I am nearly at the 200 page mark of Swordcatcher, this one. I'm not, that's a lie, I'm at page 170, but it's a chapter break, and these chapters are super, super long, so I figure that I'm going to update now anyway. I'm very confused. I feel like there are so many characters in this book that I don't know who is who. And I don't know who is important. And because of that, like, there was a whole sort of like 2 or 3 paragraphs talking about Lilybet, and I was like, I don't know who this person is, never come across his name. And then realised that Lilybet is the queen. And I was like, oh, right, I have met this person. And she is therefore important, because she is the mother of one of the main characters. But and this is it, I'm just very confused. There's such a huge cast of characters. And Cassandra Clare does do this. You know, in the Shadowhunters, the cast of characters is always huge. But I feel like with Shadowhunters, because I'm used to that world, I'm kind of used to the amount of characters, and even when it's a new series and it's a new group of characters, there are a certain amount of names that I recognise, and like the families I recognise. So, you know, you've kind of got that world building already. Whereas here, I just feel it's been very, very dumped in, and I am confused. Absolutely confused.com. So, I am slightly struggling. And I don't want that to sound like I'm not enjoying this book, because I am enjoying the story. I do still feel 170 pages. We have not got a plot yet. I don't know what the plot is. We have inklings of a plot-esque. Like, we've just found out that the king is mad. Cool, great. Is that important? I have no idea. No clue. Is that the plot? Probably not. I imagine that the plot is to do with Kell and the ragpicker king, or trying to get magic back in the world, or trying to find a cure for like something. That could be it, actually. Maybe the... Bracken? What you doing? Maybe the plot, because we've also got a character, Lynn, who is a physician. So maybe the whole plot is trying to like cure some illness or something. But I don't know. And this is it. I do feel like quarter of the way through the book, I should know what the plot is. So yeah, I am struggling at the moment. But the thing is like, even the worst Shadowhunter books, like the 2-star books in the Mortal Instruments, which they used, for me, the Mortal Instruments, City of Bones started at 3 stars. It went downhill to book 5, which was a 2-star. I did really like book 6 though. But like, even those books that I didn't enjoy, I could read quickly and I knew what was going on. I just didn't like the plot. I feel like Cassandra Clare is so used to like having a really rich world that she's struggling to rein that world in. And I feel like she's one of these authors, because she is Cassandra Clare, because she has published like however many books, she can kind of do what she wants rather than being heavily edited. So yeah, I would like to maybe get 8 o'clock now. I imagine these sprints are probably going to go for like another 2 hours maybe. If I could maybe get to page 300, that would be fab. And then I can hopefully by that point be halfway through the book and I'll know what the plot is. My friend Zoo, who has a very similar reading taste to me, and also tells me to read a lot of books. She's been telling me to read this book for quite a while. So I feel like if she enjoyed it, then there's more to it than I am. It's putting down more than I'm picking up. But I'm going to carry on reading. I'm going to update you probably when I get to about the page 300 mark, or before I go to bed, whichever comes first. And yeah, I'm hoping that a plot is going to kind of kick in soon. Hello. So I'm about to go to bed, but I'm up to page 245 in Swordcatcher, and yeah, enjoying it. Plot has started. Action is actioning, and I can't really tell you much about what's happened or like why things are happening, but things are at least happening now. Look at this one. She's literally just squished herself now, fallen between my legs. Is that comfortable, Boo? You're such a silly kitty cat, aren't you? She's such a sweetheart. Anyway, I am tired. It's 10:30. It's not actually that late, but I am going to go to bed, and I might read something else in bed, because it's 24-hour Patreon readathon, so I might do that. Depends how I feel. But yeah, Swordcatcher is getting interesting. So except I'm up to page 250-ish, 245. I think Becca's doing sprints again tomorrow for the second half of the 24-hour readathon. I would like to try and get to about page 400, 500 maybe. Well, really, I want to finish the book, to be totally honest with you, because I want this vlog to go up on Wednesday, which means really I need to have the book finished by Tuesday, which is very quickly coming about. Tuesday is actually my birthday, so it'd be good to have it finished by then. But yes, anyway, going good so far. I'm going to go to bed and I'll talk to you in the morning. Hello. Okay, I am at the 300 page mark of Swordcatcher. It's Sunday evening. It's 5 o'clock. I want this vlog to go up on Wednesday, which means I need to have this book finished by Tuesday, really. And I've got 300 pages to go. And I'm working Monday and Tuesday. So that's quite a lot of reading to do in evenings. I am enjoying Swordcatcher so far. I'm starting to feel like threads are coming together, and I think I have suspicions on who I trust and who I don't trust. But, sorry if you can hear huffing and puffing, it's Bracken. But I've got over 300 pages left to go. And the thing is, normally 300 pages is a lot. But I am finding Swordcatcher is quite a slow-going book. Normally with Cassandra Clare, her writing, well, the Shadowhunters worlds anyway, are very fast-paced. This one is much slower, which isn't a bad thing. but I'll be totally honest, I haven't given the time to the book because I thought it would be much faster paced than it is. So it is a problem of my own devising. Is that a word? Don't know. That's what I'm going with. So yeah, I need to get reading. I really need to get a wiggle on with my reading. I do also have the audiobook for Swordcatcher, and I have been like doing some parts on audio. If I can get your nose out of my books, please. I've been doing some parts on audio. I don't mind the narrators, but I'm not obsessed with the narrators. I'm finding that like the audio is working well if I'm audioing and reading at the same time. Just audioing, it's a bit too confusing for me to kind of know exactly what's going on. I find I need to be able to see the words on the page to know exactly what's happening. But yeah, that's where I'm at. 300 pages, enjoying it, things are happening, getting slightly concerned that I'm not going to get this book finished in time. So I should probably stop talking and start reading. I don't know if you can see this, but there is Bella. Hey, Belle. Belle. Bracken, move your nose. She has let herself into my wool box and has made herself quite at home in my wool box. She's not supposed to be in my box of wool. She might come out in a minute. Bella? Belle? You gonna come out, baby? No? She's probably not going to come out for feed then. Anyway, that is creepy cat, to be totally honest, just appearing in box. Hello, it is Monday evening-ish, it's about 5 o'clock. I've been reading Swordcatcher, so I've switched to audiobook and I've been audioing it while I've been working, and I am now a good chunk in. I'm this far in. I'm up to page 500 and something. 530. The book is... I've got a bonus scene in there. The book is 604, so I've got about 70 pages left to go. Oh, actually, I could do that tonight. I was thinking earlier, yeah, I'm not going to finish that one tonight, but maybe I will. And yeah, I am enjoying it a lot more. I was speaking to my friend Zoo earlier, and I feel like I am enjoying it a lot more. I think there are stakes that have come in. I was speaking to my friend Zoo, and I was saying how like I'm enjoying the world building, but this is a lot slower than I was expecting from Cassandra Clare. And I think that's kind of been the problem, is that even though this is obviously not anything to do with Shadowhunters, it is written in a very different style. So I'm not getting that kind of speedy, fast-paced Shadowhunters writing style, which I was expecting. And this isn't a bad thing. You know, this is an expectation that I put on myself, or I put on the book myself incorrectly. You know, it's not a bad thing that this book doesn't remind me of previous books by the same author. But I'm not, like I said to Zoo, if I was reading this book blind, I wouldn't say, like I wouldn't immediately recognise it as a Cassandra Clare book. However, I am intrigued by the book. I am excited to see where this plot is going. Yeah, I am really enjoying it. I feel like a lot has happened in the part that I've audioed, and part of me is like, did I fully understand everything that happened? I think I'm up to date with what's going on. But yeah, everything, the plot is suddenly moving at a much, much faster pace. And I'm enjoying it. So my plan is try to finish this tonight, get these last 70 pages read tonight if I can. And then this blog will go up once it's finished. Hopefully. Yeah. Enjoyed this one. Like, I kind of went into Swordcatcher thinking that I would enjoy it. Do you mind? And I think I've enjoyed it, to be honest. I think I've enjoyed it slightly less than I expected. But that's because I am such a guilty pleasure Shadowhunters fan. Like, I really enjoy the Shadowhunters books. That even though they're not very good, they're all 5 stars. I do feel like Swordcatcher is probably not going to get above a 4. And again, not because it's not a great book, but just because it has been slower. Again, it's the first in the series in a brand new world. And knowing Cassandra Clare, this isn't going to be, you know, a standalone, or, well, no, it's not a standalone. You know, it's not going to be just like 1 or 2 books. If it's a trilogy, I'll be surprised. You know, like, she loves expansive novels, and really, really delving into a world, which I also really, really enjoy. So yeah, I'm excited to finish, see what my final thoughts will be. And to be honest, I'm more excited to get to book 2, like when it comes out, just because I feel like I'll have a more realistic expectation of the world, the writing and all of that, than I did going in thinking, oh, well, I know Cassandra Clare's writing, and even though it's not the Shadowhunters, it's going to be kind of like the Shadowhunters. But no, totally different. Having a great time. I will come back to you when I have finished the book. Hello, it's Tuesday. I'm being jumped on by Bracken. I knew that was going to happen because you are refusing to be sensible. It's Tuesday evening. What is going on with my hair there? A little random, like, curl up there. It's actually my birthday today. So yeah, I have finally finished Swordcatcher. And the action definitely gets a lot more intense towards the end. And I feel like it ends at a point where you've had action, 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 end. Like, it doesn't end on a cliffhanger as such. Well, it kind of does, actually. I'd say we're following sort of 2 main storylines in this. We've got Kel and then we've got Lynn. So Kel is the sword catcher, and so we've got his storyline of him and the Prince Connor and like what he's doing with that. And Lynn is a healer. I can't remember what they're called. She's some sort of like doctor-y person anyway. And there are 2 main perspectives. And I feel like Lynn's storyline does end on a cliffhanger. Kel's doesn't quite so much, but it does end in a place where I'm really excited to see what's going to happen next. I literally like 3 minutes ago finished the book, so I haven't yet rated it. I feel like it's probably going to come out at about a 4 star, I'll be honest. Yeah, I think 4 star feels fair because there was a lot of world building at the start and it was very slow paced at the start. Like, it did take me like 150 pages until I properly got into it, which is quite a lot of book to read when you're like, what's happening? But I think the payoff at the end, really, really good. I'm very excited for book 2 now. What more can I tell you about Swordcatcher? I'm really glad that I've read it. Like, yes, I know it's taken me far too long to get to it, but I am really happy that I have now read it. And yeah, I'm hoping that, I think this was Fairy Leap. I hope Fairy Leap will do a special edition of book 2 because I would like to get that. I didn't like, this is the problem, right? I mean, I've obviously not got the dust jacket on at the moment. This is the Fairy Loot edition, if I can go away, which has got absolutely stunning edges. But I think the cover on the Fairy Loot edition, which has got just 2 people on it, it's basically this artwork, which is stunning, but I don't like the cover. I don't like that as cover art. I actually think the original cover is a lot nicer. So I've got the original cover on this. Obviously it's upstairs at the moment. So would I buy a Fairy Lick special edition? Actually, probably not, but I might see if like Waterstones or someone does a special edition that just doesn't have a different cover, because I expect that the original cover will be nicer than special edition. Anyway, that's neither here nor there because the second book isn't even out. What am I saying? Yeah, enjoyed it, had a great time. I don't think I've got anything else to say. So this episode of Book Box Battle has taken me about 2 weeks. And I kind of did know that because I originally had planned for like this video to go out last weekend, and then I was like, actually no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to push this one back a few days. So I knew that it was going to take me longer to read. Like I knew that I was pushing the vlog back, not to give myself longer to read the book, but just because of the way that I wanted like my vlogs to run, unimportant. But yeah, it has taken me quite a while to read. However, I'm hoping now that all of that world building has been done. So book 2, when I get to it, when it comes out. When is book 2 out? So I know it's out next year. But yeah, hopefully I'll get into it quickly. The Rag Picker King. March 4th. See that cover? That cover is quite nice. Or at least it matches the... Like, I don't think these covers are bad. I think they're quite nice. But yeah, that is it. I'm going to wrap this vlog up. And I'm going to try and edit now as well and get this vlog up for tomorrow. So if you like this video, please leave me a like, subscribe down below. If you would like to leave me an emoji just to let me know you're here. Is there a sword emoji? I don't know if there is. If there isn't a sword emoji, some sort of like fantastical, like the wizard emoji or something like that. That'd be great. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye bye.